Hello everybody and welcome back to Listen, I Have an Idea. Is this the second time I've sat down to film this video today? Yes. I was at a loss for words the first time because I didn't really know how best to start off this series. Well, let me start by saying welcome to the first episode of the Sweet Dreams series. This is going to be following my latest story that I have decided to call the entire series Sweet Dreams because it is based off of a dream. I wanted to start the series off by talking a little bit about my idea for this story, talk a little bit about the world that I have developed for the story so far, and a couple of the main characters that I've started to develop. Before I get into that though, I have to point out I have a new addition to my bookshelf. It's right there. Can you see it? Emily mentioned it in the video that I posted the other day, and I had to say I just got it in the mail yesterday. But Emily, it's sitting right there. Right there. I have yet to read it, but I am so excited to read it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about world building. So as you know, the idea for the story in this entire series came to me in a dream. I had the dream many, many years ago, and I really enjoyed the location of the dream. It was set in this really old building, and there was a lot of vibrant colors and a lot of really interesting architecture going on in this building that made it very memorable to me and want to develop it into a story. In terms of planning, I've had many, many years to develop this story. I've been thinking about it quite constantly. I used a couple of different techniques to develop a story from a dream into the page. With the story in particular, I started out with the technique that I saw on the show Sherlock, and I've been using it for a long time, and for me it works. In the show Sherlock Holmes has this technique that he calls his mind palace, where inside his head he has this library world of information where he can go into and search as if it's his own Wikipedia or Google and find any information that he values and wants to store. For myself, I call it my dream map. So when I have a dream of a particular location that I want to explore more, I kind of save it in my head in some way, and that way I'm able to go back and explore the world a little bit. I know it sounds crazy, but it does work for me, and I find that it's actually really, really helpful. So when it comes to stories like this where I thoroughly enjoy the origins of it, it makes it so much easier to move on to the second stage of my world building, which is, here, let me turn you around. Here is my whiteboard. Yes, I know a lot of the information is going to be blurred out right now because it's sensitive material that has to rely with a story that I can't give away just yet. But as you can see, right in the middle is my flat world. I like to draw it out on my whiteboard, just a couple of quick lines. I know I am doing both my brother and my sister, who are studying architecture students, a disservice by not having straight lines on there. Sorry guys, but it totally works for me. Now, the colors on there, they don't mean much, but they do have a certain significance in terms of the storyline and how the stories are going to progress. And since I drew it out, I have a little bit of better understanding of at least one of the main locations of the world. For those who don't have a whiteboard, just draw it out on a piece of paper. I have done that several times and it works just the same. In terms of this story though, there was a couple of things that I had to develop a little bit further that I needed more detail for than just a whiteboard could show me. So I actually built the main location in The Sims. I've done it so many times for so many different stories, but it's so helpful. I don't know how to say that more. It's so helpful to build it out in The Sims. I not only got to design the entire main building of the main location where my characters are going to be, but I got to decide certain characteristics and play with the physics of the location. I know it sounds strange, but in order for me to write a story that feels realistic, as if the characters are actually in the space and using it and moving with it properly, by visually seeing the location in The Sims, I actually feel like I've been there. I know exactly what I'm writing about because it's real to me, because I built it. So I want to share a little bit of the building that I built. I'm not going to share all of it because I don't want to give too much away just yet, but here we go. This is the opening shot, and the world that I place this building in The Sims may be intentional. Kind of, yes, not really. I mean, the landscape is beautiful, but it has the largest amount of space where I can place a lot this big, so don't play too much into that. Before the grand reveal of the interior of this building, please ignore this guy's face. This is the only way I could show you in The Sims without all of the extra Sims stuff around the edges. So let's go. Here's the grand reveal. We've got bookshelves and this beautiful couch set over here. Now let's walk. Look at how grand this area is. It's so big and beautiful. I thought I wasn't going to be able to show it to you with the second story on there because Sims 3 is a little bit glitchy. but I think it's gorgeous. The chandeliers, I really enjoy all the decorations in here. I think it's gorgeous, stunning. Okay, let's keep walking and I'll give you a kind of 360 once we get over here. So we have this grand entrance. Don't want to look up. There's not much up there. Okay, now we're at the door, so let's turn back around very slowly. And boom, there's the other side. Okay, that's location number 1. Here we have the second interior. So this is actually the location I dreamt about with all of the tropical plants and the pool. It's beautiful. It turned out so much better in The Sims than I actually thought it was going to be. I just thought it was beautiful. So here's kind of a sweeping interior of it. I may or may not have added an extra story to this build, like an actual second level or third level than what I had initially dreamt of, but still, I think this place is gorgeous. It turned out exactly how I envisioned it. That's it for the interiors. Hope you enjoyed. I don't want to give away too much with the exteriors, but I thought I would show you this shot. Yes, the graphics are beautiful. Yes, the landscaping is beautiful. And it may have something to do with the coming stories of book 2, 3, and 4. But that's the only hint that you're going to get for now. Okay, on to the characters. There was a couple of people featured in the dream that I know in my real life that I decided to kind of base the characters off of. Not fully, meaning the characters in my story are not going to be anything like the people in real life, but I somehow wanted to give them a chance to shine in my story and give them at least one personality trait or something about the real people that I know in these characters. That way, I don't know, they're just kind of represented and it means a little bit more to me. So I have 4 main characters. As you know, each one is going to be featured as the main character in each of the different books. As for names of the characters, I do have names picked out both first and last for all 4 of my main characters. I have it picked out for a love interest. Yes, there is going to be a love interest in this book because romance is my favorite genre. I also have a couple of other secondary characters that both have first and last names and basic story arcs planned out. In terms of names, I am never one to settle on a name right at the planning phase. I like to take it as it comes, see if the name actually truly fits with the character. Right now, I don't think I am too sold on the name that I picked for the main character of the first book. Her name currently is Parker. She's a very strong, independent woman, has a really successful career, but is experiencing a setback that she didn't anticipate, and that's where we pick up with the very beginning of the book. I'm not really sold on the name Parker. It's kind of a strong name. It works for both a guy and a girl. I'm open to suggestions if you guys have a different name that you think would be good for this character. The reason I am being so secretive with a lot of the details about the story is because if I were to ever release a debut novel, this is the one I want it to be. I'm so in love with the characters and the story that I've created for this series that I want to share it with you guys eventually, but because of that, I want to keep a bunch of the information about the series private just for now. So what I'm sharing with you, I think it'll be okay. That being said, if you guys have a name suggestion for my main character other than Parker that you think works for a very strong, independent, self-made woman, let me know in the comments down below. Her last name is picked out and I'm not changing it, just her first name, okay? I spent a lot of time in December going through on Scrivener and creating the character profiles. I really think that that's an underrated feature on Scrivener. It's definitely helped me plan some of the main characters so far. I don't have it for every single character, but for the 4 main ones, and I have another 5 characters already fully planned out in there. It's so helpful. I use the notes section to add a lot of details that I am planning on adding in, maybe not in the first book, but in the next coming sequels. So that way at least my thoughts are organized. I have an idea of where I want these characters to go and to end up by the last book. Before I go, let me know in the comments down below what you think the main location for my story is. I hope I didn't give too much away with the little clips that I shared with you because I'm so excited for this place and for this story, but I'm really curious to know what you guys think so far of what I have planned. So let me know in the comments down below. In the next episode, I am going to be talking all about what I have planned so far in terms of the plot, and I'm going to be going over the first couple of chapters with you guys. So stay tuned for that, and until next time, sweet dreams. Bye!